we're on live.
Oh,
Let me make
thanks.
sure everything's cool. Let's see here. Hmm. God,
We
I'm
won't
burning
talk
up.
about your head, of course.
Huh?
We won't
What?
talk about your head live.
It's okay. Morgan told everybody I had a bald spot one time. Is that a bald spot? We were doing a show together when she was in Australia. Is that a bald spot? Okay, this is good. Whew, I'm burning up, man. My DNA is reforming. So we got Sarah Rose Solaris, Janet Sanders, Nasia Sia. She says, "Woohoo, Rosie Neal, you rock, girlfriend." Uh, yep. Leslie Phillips, Judian Bull, Donna Davin, Guerrero Del Rio, Jenny Smith, Francine Rodriguez, Kathy Waldowski. Yes. Okay. Linda Winger. Yes. Jody Lee. All right. So we have a special edition, Soul Speaks 5D. It didn't go off, what, 2 days ago? We had a power outage in Kauai. They had these crazy storms come in, which were aligning with the energy that was presenting itself. So, and I don't really get a chance to read a lot of stuff. Sometimes I do for 5 or 10 minutes, and I did read the first post you made about this event. Okay, which I think was like 3 weeks ago, and then I saw another one where there was 4,040 healers signed up, and then I saw two more where there was another hundred and something, and then another two or 300, 400. I don't remember. So there's a
277
lot.
today.
How
277
many?
today. Yeah, today, final
So you're
number
about,
after I got back
yeah,
was on the count at that point was it's crazy 4321
four,
four
three, two,
three
one.
two one. Yeah, 1 2 3 4. Yeah,
So what we're
four
taught,
thousand three hundred and 21 people
yeah, 4,321 people.
all around the world. And if you could see a map of where these locations are, it would literally blow your mind. I mean, not only I don't know where all the sacred sites are. I don't know a whole lot of anything, but I do know that when I've seen sacred sites, and then these other people are coming in telling me about their secret sites, and there's healers that are sending me video clips of what they do because they think I need to know all the particulars, and they're
Yeah.
sending me these clips, and these clips are, oh my God, if Todd, I have no words. There are clips where you see a man and you see light coming all out of his head. And I can't even remember if it was massacre. I don't remember what countries they were because I've got so many of them. I see another one put crystals in her hand, lay these crystals in her hand, and they lit up yellow, blue, and orange, like electricity going through it. I had another man put, and I don't, he spoke broken English. His heart hands to his center of his chest. And as he came out, a light came out. And as he expanded, a huge golden light and then multicolor lights came around and opened up. And in these countries, this is normal for them. This is normal. You know, in our country, we're so indoctrinated with politics and TV and all the different things, you know, the work. Most of the people are working 12-hour days. You know,
Yeah.
we're not into this. This is not our normal. This is like miraculous. So when I seen it, it was miraculous. I'm like, oh my God, I was so humbled. And I cried like a baby, and I cried and I cried because I had no idea that this was going on such a mass scale at the level that I had received in certain clips of video. So I
Wow.
was blown away by that. And I'll
That,
tell you this. This is something else that I was blown away by. I want to say 50% or a hair over 50% responded. We've been waiting for the call. We've been
wow.
waiting for the call. And when I was told to do work, it was just some weeks ago, and I was going to, Janet and I, we were going to do the work. And then I was told to put it on Facebook and ask for healers. And I expected, 25, 35. If I could have got 50, I would have been proud. My chest would have been boom, boom, boom. But I got to tell you, over 4,000. I mean, it's humbling, humbling. It's humbling. And there, like I said, strategically, the way it's laid out, we have the entire world the way it's laid out strategically. Today, this is incredible. Here's some places that I got real heavy input today is Nepal. Bhutan. I don't even know they had Wi-Fi up there. Some place called Kenchajunga, Kechajunga in India. I have no idea where it's at. But I mean, oh, how about this? Aborigines, the original bloodline from the Aborigines. Of course, they can't share their stuff, and I can't talk a lot about what they talked about with me, but I could tell you that was just incredible, incredible. And I'm just some older woman, older grandmother living in the middle of nowhere on the water. I mean, why they respond? How did they find me? How did these places all over Europe, France, Italy, Rome? I even have 3 in the Vatican, right in the Vatican. And that was really important because I had to put a post up actually to ask for people in the Vatican if anybody knew anybody. And when I put that post up, I end up getting 3 people brought to me that lived in, because I needed people grounded in areas, because it's almost like they're antennas. They're grounded in. And this, whatever this frequency, when we unite, it's just going to be like a wave. It's going to be a wave.
Wow.
And it's going to create an opening. But I did, back in December, I believe early December, I went to my masseuse, and I was just finishing up with the masseuse, and I was giving information from Spirit, which is God. People say, well, what's Spirit? Well, for me, it's Source Stream. I get it directly from Source Stream. And I was told that in February, and they gave me a date, that a huge event was going to happen, and this energy was going to come to the planet that's never been here before, and it was going to be.
Is that February 16th?
No, it wasn't February 16th. It was February 20, 21, 22, 23, in the twos. So I was also told whatever information I was given to share it with Janet. So I get her on the phone immediately. I shared whatever, and told her to put it on her calendar, and I was going to put it on mine. Well, I got interrupted with another phone call and forgot. Janet, for whatever reason, didn't put it on the calendar. So I don't have that exact date, but it's 21, 22, 23, something like that. Something's going to happen. This is before all of this. This is before this. This is before I was told to do any work. And now all these people come together. And I'm telling you, these people they are such heart-aced, loving people. They're not asking for anything, and they're putting their time. They're willing to do whatever it takes. And I don't even know how many messages on my phone that I haven't even answered today. I mean, there's a stream of messages, and I had to watch for your message so you didn't get lost. Morgan's message got lost in all the stuff yesterday. So, it's just, they were waiting for a call. And who would have thought? Little old grandma put the call out, and how are these people finding me? How do they get to me? I don't know. But I do know that it is going to be a healing for people, because we've done healing events before. A few years ago, we had done one, and there were 1,066, which I thought was astronomical number, that showed up that wanted a healing. And some of the stuff that happened was just incredible. I got a phone call from a lady. My phone number's on YouTube, Facebook, and I got a phone number from a lady that was probably 30-something years old. Her mother was in ICU in a coma state, and they were going to disconnect her. And she asked for the healing on whatever day we did it, and we did it. And the woman literally just sat up and woke up. And the woman called me crying and crying and crying. So there was a lot of very miraculous things that took place. However, I will also say, along with that, when you ask for a healing, you think like, oh my God, my arm, my shoulder, my neck, whatever it is, on a physical level. That may not be the healing you'll get. It may be a financial healing. It may be an addiction healing. It may be dysfunctional relationship healing. It may be imbalance of energy between a parent and a child, and that comes into. So you never know what they're going to get. The soul will get exactly what is needed. And from where we're looking at everything, there's no way we can tell you. I can't say I need this, because I'm an ego. I only know what I need through tunnel vision. There's so much more that we can't see or understand that goes so far beyond us. So it was amazing last time, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out this time, but I know it's going to be miraculous, because last time it was Janet and I and a few other people holding space. Now we have over 4,000.
4,321.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Now,
not, it's
are they?
astounding. It's
And it
astounding to the
takes,
mind.
yeah, and it takes place on the 16th.
It's going to take place on February 16 on Pine Island. It's a local wound chakra for us. For energy workers, know what that is. But
I've been
it's
to
a
Pine
lot.
Island.
I know
I've
you
been
do.
there.
I know you
Yeah,
said that. Yeah, you said that several times in our past before I got sick. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So last year was a very difficult year for me. I went through a lot of medical stuff myself, my husband as well. But and you knew, you had a little privy of insight that what I was going through as
Mhm.
I was going through it. But and I'm not going to share everything, but I end up having 12 tumors spread out on my heart. And they said usually if you get tumors on the heart, it goes to the left or the right, and then they go in and they want to cut them tumors to see, you know, do the test and see what it is, etc. And I wouldn't let anybody cut out of my heart. I think my best asset is my heart. I have nothing better than my heart because it's pretty pure. But I wouldn't let them do that. And I called, remember my school teacher that I met sometime
Yeah,
last
yeah,
April?
yeah.
Yeah. So I
That
call
was
him and I'm
crazy.
crying and I'm like, I can't tell my husband. I don't know what he's already sick and it can make him worse. He goes, well, he's really sick. Maybe you shouldn't tell him. He said, because he could have a heart attack. But he ended up doing the work. And I mean, over a span of time, I mean, I felt this energy come in me almost like a tornado in my chest. I couldn't even stand. I had to lay back. It was so, but he ended up, I went through a lot more, but ultimately, this gentleman, Paul, ended up keeping me here because I was leaving. I mean, I was like out, and he just sucked me
Oh, well, you
back in.
told me that. You
Yeah,
told
like a
me that
rubber
in the
band.
summer. You told me
Yeah,
that in the summer.
yeah, yeah. So, and I didn't know that he was doing it when he was doing it. You know, I didn't know it. But when I was out of body and I was pulled back in, and you know, and I didn't know how I felt about that. I was leaving. I prepared. I was told in on Thanksgiving morning at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 years previously, that I was coming to a point in my life that I would be exiting, and the choice had already been made. And they showed me a crossroad where you can go left or right. And I'm thinking, well, am I going left or right? What does that even mean? And they said you would exit. Well, and I was going to exit in 2 years in 2018. They told me 2018 would be final and complete Thanksgiving. So for 2 years, the first months and months and months, I cried and grieved. I'm leaving everybody, you know, going through it. And I shared it with my, you know, my inner circle and my family. And then after that, I got, well, okay, I'm putting everything in order, and this is for this, and that's for that. And I mean, I was perfectly ready to go. And I'm like, so when it come time for me to become very ill and go down, I was really, I even told you, I think, that I'm going to be leaving in 2018. You know, I was
Hmm.
absolutely certain I was leaving. Well, this teacher guy, Paul Baroff, drives me back in with his work that he does. I don't even know what kind of work he does, but he did it. And he's considered to be the twin ray, not a twin flame, but a twin ray, which is, if you were to explain that to somebody, if you're driving your car and it's raining and a raindrop hits the windshield, that raindrop splits perfectly and that perfectly goes in separate directions. Well, I'm one and he's the other. So he is I and I am him on a soul level, and he chose to
Yeah.
come in first. But
And he was like a teacher when you were a little kid, right?
yeah, I'm going to tell you, he saved me when I was a little kid. You know, I would like to do a show with him. I've talked to him several times. I would really like to do a show with him. But when I was 9 years old in school, I was in Detroit, Michigan, and it was a very harsh time for in the area that we were in. And I was the only girl, and I was picked on all the time. And I came from a very abusive background. My mother was very, very abusive. My mother, she just didn't want me there. And one day I went to the art class, and I'm sitting in these little chairs at a little table, and he gives us this big piece of, I don't know, sheet of cardboard stuff, whatever you paint on, you know. And he tells the class, he's such a gentle soul in that era of a very volatile, tough, masculine energy. And he said, you can create whatever you want to create. You know, he tells the class, and everybody's doing this, and I'm still sitting there, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. And I had a hard day, and my mom was cruel that morning, and the kids picked on me on the way to school. And I remember I was in tears, and he comes over to me, and the kids are like already halfway through it, and I'm blank. And he says to me, he says, look, he gets down on his knee, one knee, puts his arm around me, and he says, you can create anything you want, anything. It doesn't matter what you create. Nobody can judge you because that's your creation. You're the creator, and that's your creation. And I've got to tell you, I never told anybody except my immediate family and him when I found him when we reconnected. But at 9 years old, I was planning to jump off a bridge. I was done. I couldn't live in this life. I couldn't live in a life that you're awakened and there's such cruelty and harshness here, such pain that you have to go through. And you know yourself because you went through the homeless situation, people can be very cruel. And when you're a child, kids are even worse than adults. So
Yeah.
when he did that and put his arm around me in that exact moment, something inside shifted. And I never did that. He saved me then, and then he saved me again, you know, last August, I believe. I believe it was August.
Wow.
So I was very, yeah. So I kind of made my mind up. You know, after that, I went through a bit of a depression, not knowing what's going to happen or what I'm going to do. Or
You checked out for a while. I remember you checked out for 3 or 4
everybody,
months.
I was gone from everybody. Yeah, I just gone. And then I'm thinking I'm here, and I just felt lost and limber, and I didn't know, you know, nothing excited me. And you're talking about a woman that owned a lot of companies, you know, car dealerships and used car lots, and I mean, body shops, everything to do automotive. I owned a lot for many, 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 many years, 20 plus years. And all of a sudden, I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about nothing. And then I find out that, you know, how he got involved at my worst hour, and somebody had called him, he didn't know, and somebody had called him and told him where I was at medically, and he got involved, and he just snapped me back in, and I worked from there to get back up to 100%, and I am up to 100%. I feel so much gratitude. At first, I didn't know how to feel about it. I was ready to go, and he messed that up. I'm like, he can't do that without permission. What's he doing? I was angry about it. I didn't know he knew it because I was being polite, and he goes, "You were actually angry at me," and I'm like, "You knew that? You know, you knew that?" Yeah, I go, "Yeah." So, but now, I just want to make a difference. I
Yeah.
want to make a difference. I don't care about money and things. They don't excite me, but I want to make a difference with people. I want to affect their heart. And how do you do that? I don't know how to do that. And then all of a sudden they told me to do this work, spiritual work. And we do a lot of, Janet and I do a lot of, you know, spiritual work. And then they told me to go Facebook and and I'm expecting 40, 50 healers. And here we go, you know. 4,300 healers. I mean, that's just, my mind can't even comprehend that. I mean, and I'm so humbled by it. I mean, I am so humbled by it. You just don't know. You just don't know. But I do want to do anything I can do because I'm here to make a difference in the world, you know. And I will honestly say, is it me doing it? No, it's not me. I won't take any responsibility. I think we are all, every healer here is a clear, perfect channel for something greater than us to come through and allow that energy to do whatever needs to be done to take us to another level, if that makes sense. But I do feel that
Yeah.
there are a lot of people waking up, and there are a lot more fixing to wake up. I think we're
Yeah.
coming to remedy and resolve on many levels. I think we're going to learn, people are going to understand what I call universal law of reciprocation. You know, as I give to you, you give back. And I'm going to even say it on your show. You know, people come and watch. They'll watch your show, and they'll watch probably, you know, a lot of your shows, and they really don't do anything, and they don't take time to send you a little, you know, whatever it is to kind of reciprocate back for what you're giving, to give back to you. And what happens is that they don't understand, because that's a universal law. As you give, you shall receive. And it's usually tenfold. So what happens is they get away with, and I'm using your show just as an analogy, but
Yeah.
they get
I
away
got
with
you.
not helping and not doing anything, but they're receiving all this stuff. And it's shifting them inside. It's waking them up. It's helping them on many levels. Well, what happens, the next thing you know, a tire blows out or the furnace breaks. That money's going to go somewhere. If it didn't go where it was supposed to go, it will go somewhere, and it will be tenfold what they would have originally had. Because when you give, you will. When I had my companies, I gave everybody a gold chain, a nice thick railroad gold chain. because everything goes in circles. As you put out, you shall receive. So as I do for others, it comes back full circle. You don't have to give it to it. It's going to come back to me. And but like on your show, people, they think they're getting away with something. And I'm saying your show as an analogy, of course, but many different aspects of life, you think you're getting away with something, but you're not. And they go, well, yeah, Rosie, you have a lot more. You have a lot more than most people have. And I go, I do, but I gave away way more than I have. I've given away way more than I have. If I value something and I meet somebody and it fits them, they get it. I give it. I just don't. It's all about this, and it's about sharing and giving and unadulterated love. It's about I have to love you, and by loving you, I'm loving me. I'm loving me, and when I take care of you, I'm taking care of me. And now it end up being that source, God, whatever label you want to use, is using that on a global level for everybody. And I can't wait to see what happens from that. I just can't even begin to see what's going to happen from that. I was at a small little birthday party gathering not long ago, I don't know, a week or two ago, and while I was there was a gentleman there by the name of Nathan Dykes, and he has a lot of instruments that go back to the beginning days, very indigenous stuff. And he was playing these sounds, and I remember I'm sitting there closing my eyes, and one sound he played, it went right into my heart, literally went right into my heart. And I'm sitting there as the sound went into my heart, and I'm like, I'm tears start crying, and I don't know about anybody else. I'm just focused on myself. And I was shown that sound is going to be the new way of healing. We're going to get away from the stuff with the cutting. They showed me that Spirit showed me, and that our body is held together by sound. That's what holds us physically together. And when all the etheric levels and different parts of the body get out of balance, that's where dis-ease and disease comes from. And when you have the right sound, which is the F sharp, F flat, that's been taken away for an awful long time, that sound comes in and it goes right into the heart. And then they showed me that when a fetus, when a man and women first conceive, before anything is made of that fetus, it's the heart that's formed. And then they showed me as the heart is formed, the next thing is a sac around the heart, and that's called the pericardium. And inside is the fluid from the woman, that the fluid's inside that heart in that sac. And that sound goes right through that pericardium and into the heart. And it's the sacred waters of the heart is where the healing literally takes place. And of course, the next thing after the heart is the brain. The brain is second to the heart. And then the rest of the fetus is formed. But they showed me that when he was playing that sound. So it basically told me that not long down the road, all healing will be done with sound to the human form.
Wow. Yeah, I was telling this guy on the first show today, because he does a couple of light languages, and he's a music composer, or without words. What do you call that? But anyway, and I was telling him over the last week, there's been a couple of times, and I'm, I guess, imbalanced or something, I don't know, and these tones start coming in, like, and I'm saying them real quietly to myself, because I'm really not understanding what's happening, but I am understanding that it's doing some type of leveling off. It's not like do re fa sol la ti do. It's not like that, but it's like these sounds, and so I started emanating these sounds quietly, and I can even see colors with them. So I agree. I totally agree. I think sound is definitely.
Yeah, I think they told me that's going to be the next thing, and it's going to be in the very near future. That's what's going to be. Everybody will be healed with sound. Things are shifting very, very fast. Things are moving very, very fast. I caught Jason Estes' show, maybe the last, maybe two, maybe three of them, and I really am 100% in agreement with him and what he says. I absolutely concur with that man 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Rick Jules, I've been watching him as well. I adore him, and then Grace Solero. That's another one.
She's coming on I think she's
She
coming
told
tomorrow.
me, yeah, she
Yeah.
got a hold of me and told me. I told her to tag me in it. But you know, a lot of people are coming to me, and I'm only one person. I'm still human, you know. I'm still one being, and they're wanting me to teach and give them information and do all that stuff. And that's not my job. My job is to ground in, anchor in the frequencies, and to bring, I guess, the gathering together. Maybe now. But I gotta tell you, on my Facebook, I put a bunch of names in one post. I tag one post. Them are the people that they should look to, you know, when they need to understand. When the ego is wanting to understand the mechanics of what's happening, there are people out there that teach it. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not that. I'm just the love, to bring the love in, you know, or and the
Well,
healing in, you
and
know.
what's interesting too is in regard to Jason, is he's talking about the 16th through the 21st being this fire of the ascended masters, which is the ability to move through these things really fast. I think see the truth and that type of thing. And coming back to the planet for 10 years, giving us an opportunity and so on. But it's a very distinct point in the transmissions he receives, which falls in line with the date that you're doing this global healing. I think that's significant. There's a lot of synchronicities now, even all day long, every day with these shows and what happens with them. And it's just, it's like they're all right on time. And I know that's not just me experiencing that. I can feel it. I can see it in the energy of the people. So now, how are you going to, or where do people go to plug into this thing?
Okay, so
This is,
I put a post on my page, and I think it's been shared. I think I shared it to 100 different private groups myself. Um, it appears to me I have 3 or 4 Dispenza groups that I'm connected to, and I've got hundreds and hundreds from the Dispenza groups of people requesting healing. So, and then I guess other people have shared it. So it's been shared over 200 times out in the ether, so to speak. But basically, if they have to ask for the healing, the exchange of energy has to be a fair and equal exchange. And it's not monetary, because I was told there would be no money. And I was told that the exchange has to be the individual publicly going on Facebook and asking for a healing. I don't want to know what they think they need done or what they need done, or I don't want any particulars other than I need a healing. Source knows, God knows what needs to be healed. Um, and they need to do that on Facebook, and they need to go to my page. And there's one thing on my wall that says I need a healing. Private groups have shared it, but I think some of the other people that are sharing that page, they're not opening it public, so there's no place to comment on it. So
mm,
when they private message me, I'm overwhelmed with private messages. But I tell them to go back to my page, and even if I have to friend them, to get them in the comments. But they by literally asking and requesting, they're stepping into. I was told that they're stepping into their own sovereignty. That's the
oh,
first
wow.
step into total sovereignty, right
Yeah.
there. So that
That's the
was what
word.
the exchange is.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's it. We
Yeah,
just talked about in the previous show with the archetype of the sovereign being and sovereignty.
yeah,
Jason says this is the year of sovereignty.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I think
I
that's
think that's what
yeah.
it's all about. I think that's what I maybe that's what this whole event is about, is for people to step into their power, because I am just only more awakened than you are. I'm not better than you. I mean, I don't care. I'm not better than anybody. I don't know more. It's just that I had more time doing this to awaken. That's how I put it. I mean, they're all asleep. They're still asleep. You know, they're working and watching the news, and that's kind of what's going on. So, yeah, and I have to tell you, I think this next wave there's something gonna happen. I think people, I don't know if it's gonna be a wake up. There's something gonna happen, and I know this
What do you
healing
mean?
event is gonna happen. It's gonna affect everything. I just know it is. I just absolutely
I think Mark's. Yeah,
100% my
I
heart
th-
knows.
yeah, I feel March is going to be huge. I
You
think it's going
felt
to be
what?
huge.
Say
March,
again?
the month of March,
Hmm.
to me, it feels like it's going to be huge. Like this is the build up to it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be huge, and I think even the amount of healings that will take place will transpire. You know, I don't care if it's someone that needs housing. I don't care if it's somebody that needs financial, or their credit, or whatever. The stuff that they're going to get is going to happen out of left field. They're just going to be shocked. They're going to be shocked because I got bombarded a couple of years ago when I did a large mass healing. This will be the second time I do a large mass healing, but it's not I mean, being all of us as one,
Four
doing
thousand 321 healers and counting.
yeah,
That's a lot of people.
that's a lot
It's
of
a
people.
lot of people.
I mean, and they're not just people. They're just they are people a lot. They're the people that I seen in these videos are pure. They're unadulterated, pure heart, and they're like me. I have an ability to love on levels that most people don't understand. When I love somebody, I love them with my entire being, my heart. But humanity is still in a place that they still think of love as, a relationship and sexual love. And I love so far beyond all that. It's got nothing to do with any of that. And yeah, and so I think maybe even that may happen. People are going to change. There's going to be a change. I think this is just the beginning. We're going to do a clearing. I was told that from my end, the clearing will last about 3.5 hours. And once that's clearing, it's going to clear the path energetically on a planetary level. And then we're going to go into doing the healing. And as we're doing the healing, we'll be doing it, creating that wave. And that's when the wave is going to come and meet the ocean, and the two will become one. So I think the 16th through maybe, generally, I'm going by what happened last time, 8 days. There was a lot of transformation that happened over a span of 8 days. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to work out here. I just can't even conceive of it because of the people that are coming in. The people that, you think about what I do, and I looked at what they do, and it's like, oh my God, they're just so far. To me, what they do is miraculous, because you're seeing it in 3D and in physical form. And someone's telling me, well, Rosie, you just don't understand. They're keep texting me, you just don't understand. I could start feeling that the 5D, I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand. I believe me, understand. I went through the death experience twice. I know and when I came out that end of the tunnel, they told me, I was told, I'm like, if this is heaven, they go, this is fifth dimension. So when you pass, first place you go before you go back to wherever you're supposed to go will be the fifth dimension. You will go and have your life review in the fifth dimension. You plan out your life in the fifth dimension when you come here, of what you're going to experience and how much into the polarity and duality you want to experience. You do that in the fifth dimension. So I think, I'm really excited about this. And here I am. I was up to 3 o'clock this morning, and my brain is kind of numbified. I wasn't prepared to say. I guess maybe I was trying to think of a way to work the show, and I just thought, well, we'll just have a conversation.
Yeah. We'll have a conversation. Now, this all takes place on your page, on your personal page.
Yeah. So, that's it.
And if somebody wants some healing, they sign up, or they notate it in the proper place on your page.
Yeah, just a request, public request saying I need healing. Now, when you make a public request that I need healing, and I didn't put it out there, but it generally will cover you, your significant other, immediate family, and generally parents. It will cover them automatically. So you don't need my mother, my father, right? That's automatic in there. It will cover that. It's the nucleus of the family is covered when they make that request automatically. So yeah, that's kind of it. I can't, there's no way you can, count. Before, when we got requests, we kept a log of them requests, and I thought we were going to do the same this time. But because they're coming in where so much, it's not just me. It's like, I need my father, my brother, There's no way you can keep track of how many people are asking for healings. And then, of course, all the different private groups, and it's just no way. And it doesn't matter if I see your post or not. It doesn't matter as long as it's publicly there.
Yeah,
you're in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that seems to be a big part of this whole thing too. The sovereignty vibration is coming out.
That's
whether it be coming out and just being frank and upfront about it.
Yeah. So the only thing that I was told on the healers was when they come in, they had to go in through Messenger, and I didn't think much of it, but I never expected the mass amount of healers to show up that actually showed up. So I was literally blown away because I'm the only one that can deal with all that by myself. I couldn't get help to do that because you only have your phone. How am I going to get Todd? Hey, Todd, get on my messenger. And hey, Morgan, get off my messenger. It don't work that way. This one
Mm.
person can get on that thing. So when you have bombarded with all these people on Messenger, and then I kind of went public and I let some people in that I shouldn't. I let a lot of people in that were coming in for the wrong reason. And, I had to do 100 or so blocks. I mean, I don't know. They're looking for sexuality. They're in the wrong place. I would be charging if that was for that. And there was no, I'm being funny. I do have a great sense of humor, and I'm being funny. But I did do quite a bit of blocks because I'm just not interested in. I mean, other than what we're doing, that's all I care about. I don't care about anything else.
Right on.
You know.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I
So
just saw I just saw a note from a lady that said she went on there and couldn't comment, but I
and
don't
that's
know why.
because somebody shared the post and they didn't go to the top of the three little buttons on the top and
Oh,
open it to public. That's why that
yeah, they
happened.
got to
So the best advice
change
is to
the
go back to my personal page and go
yeah,
and put it there. You know?
yeah. Yeah, to go to the personal page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you're on the original post cuz she's got a public page and I'm looking at her post and they're public. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should be.
And,
Did you
and when
just have
someone
a
shares that public post, it doesn't. They have to publicize it, open it up publicly on their post, just that post
it,
on their page.
I was going to say, did you just have a birthday? You have a birthday tomorrow?
I have a birthday tomorrow. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I forgot about my birthday, and
I
I'm
just saw
telling
I
my
went to your page. Yeah, I went to your page and
yeah.
some of the people that are
Oh my
ahead of us
God.
on the clock are saying happy birthday and I look at this it says
Yeah, I'm
tomorrow.
telling my husband, oh my God, I forgot about my birthday. I think that's happened yesterday when Morgan had said something and he goes, that's your birthday. And I'm like, oh, I forgot all about my birthday. And now I'm getting all these birthday things. It's messing up my event. They need
Yeah,
to
right?
save that for next year. Yeah, it's messing up the
It's
event.
too late
I don't
now.
want all these birthday things. I want people to come in and I want them to ask for healing. And I want whatever they need. I want them to be there so we can do this on a mass scale. That's all I care about. I don't care about my birthday.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I
It's a
don't know. When you
beautiful
get
thing.
to a certain part of your birthday, you don't care about that. You don't want to talk about that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
um,
I'm there already. I'm there
yeah.
already.
Oh, you're not there yet. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
No, I'm not.
yeah. So
I'm 33. 33.
I know exactly where you are. Yeah.
So okay, this is going to be in 4 days, right?
Yeah. I don't know what else is
And
coming in. I still have, like I said, would it have been a day and a half, 277 more healers came in. I was shut off of Messenger because originally when these healers come in, I would text them uh, a response, and then I would text them my protocol if they wanted it, and then I would text them gratitude. And
yeah.
I don't know how, but every time, once I hit like, I think it was 2,800, whenever I would text them, the text it wouldn't go through. I mean, I would physically text it. I see it be sent, but when I go back and check, there's nothing there. So I was somehow, I don't know how. Is it a tick? Is it something I'm saying that stops it? It's AI. It's artificial intelligence. And of course now, this thing is being done through artificial intelligence because we are literally going to use that artificial intelligence and go backward in it. And I was told I didn't have to, don't concern myself with any of it. I don't have to worry about protection. You don't have to, we're in another paradigm. Something has
Yeah,
shifted. Something has
yeah.
shifted. So none of
Yeah.
that's even necessary. They wanted me to go public. It's like you can't be touched. I'm like, oh my God, go public. What's going to happen now? And then I'm thinking, oh my God, my husband has family that's Southern Baptist, and I'm like, oh my God, you want me to go public? And I hesitated, and it was such reverence it came through, and I'm like, okay, I'm going public. And I'm like, okay, I know people are going to think I'm crazy, and yes, I am, and I just went forward, stepped into
You're
it
with all
anyhow.
the crazy people. You're
Yeah,
with all the crazy people. We
yeah,
used to be
and I
crazy.
found another 4,000 crazy people, that came on board.
4,000. That's amazing.
Yeah,
4,321.
yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, that's pretty incredible in itself. Yeah.
That's all word of
No,
mouth.
yeah. Yeah. How can that happen? How can that happen? How can
It's that
it go
yeah.
around the Switzerland, India, a big heavy influence out of India, France, England, Rome. I mean, right into the three in the Vatican, three Trinity, right in the Vatican.
It's
And
amazing.
it's to clear all that dense energy out and put everything. It's going to bring in transparency, and maybe that's why they want Spirit wanted me to put it out on Facebook to bring in transparency. But
Yeah.
boy, it sure got me my attention, especially in the beginning. I'm thinking, oh God, here we go. I'm like, honey, I'm going to be doing something. He goes, what are you doing now? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a polarities merging there. Southern
yeah.
Baptists. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, but I'll tell you something I was really surprised with. I have several churches that locked up. I have several churches that came on board, and they were different. I don't remember, Protestant, I think, was one. I don't remember, but there were several of them that came on board, and someone says, well, yeah, but that's organized religion. And so I'm like, yeah, that's organized religion. And then Spirit came down and says, it's not the church, it's not organized religion, it's the people of the church that are coming forward,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And then I was told,
Intention.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's still a pure intention from the heart.
Yes, that's
Right.
that's what I was told. So I didn't worry about that. And then I was told basically, in the past, when Janet and I did really heavy, intense work, I wanted to bring other people. They volunteered. I don't remember if it was 4 or 5 people we were going to bring with us. And I was told they couldn't come. And I'm like, well, why can't they come? And they wouldn't tell me. We went and did the work for our days. And ultimately, I was told the reason they couldn't come forward because their energy, their frequency would only dilute our frequency, bring us down. So
Mm.
whatever we were
Mm.
supposed to do, we wouldn't have done it at the magnitude that we were supposed to do it. But on this is completely different. I was thinking about, well, are these people, because I don't know these people, like a one-on-one. I mean, I don't know energetically where every person's at, but I was told it didn't matter because they're going to rise to the highest level. It's completely the opposite of what it ever
Mm.
was in the past on our work. So
Mm.
I was really blown away with that. And I'm like, well, what does that mean exactly? And whoever the highest is, everybody will ultimately come into coherence. It may be like this, and then they're literally going to come into coherence, and everybody will be at the highest state when we're doing the work. So it's not like it used to be. Nothing, I mean, the dynamics
No.
of anybody that does energy work, everything's changed. And it seems
Yeah.
like it's changing from day to day, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It
I don't.
is.
I get my information on need to know. When I need to know it, I'll get it, and then I only get this much. When they say go to that neighbor's house, they're not going to tell me why, who, what do I do, what do I say. They just say go, So yeah, but I think yeah, it's going to be. We're going to this event was going to be inclusive of everything that has density, and it's going to be cleaned. I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
rotor-rooter going through the pipe, so to speak. Yeah. And then the healing is going to be done on a cellular, the space in between the cells, that's very, very important, molecular, atomic, subatomic, all the way down to neutrino, which is where life begins, neutrino level. And then, of course, we're going to go into the mitochondria, and we're going to go into the nucleus of the cell. We're going to do all that. And after all that stuff is done, we're going to bring a balancing, recalibration. And then when that stuff is done, what's the most important thing that carries all memory? Fluid, water. And we're 70%, over 70% water, and we're gonna clear the waters of the body. All the,
Mm.
you're carrying a lot of, in the Bible, you're gonna carry your father, stuff, and what you do, you're carrying your ancestors' stuff, and we're gonna
Yeah.
clear all that out. So,
So you're physically going to go to Pine Island?
say again.
You're physically going to go to Pine Island?
Yeah, I was out there all day today with Janet. We had to go out
Yeah.
there, and this is the first time we have to get permission. I don't know why Spirit asked me to get permission this time when I've never got permission before. But yeah, and I'm going to have Nathan Dykes out there bringing the sound. And I haven't decided if I'm going to video part of his sound stuff for Facebook or not live. And then we had to go pick the site where we're going to do it because it's on a Saturday, and that location's very busy on a Saturday with a lot of traffic coming through. So we had to pick a site that was secluded off the beaten path, and that's what we did. And I'm still waiting for permission from whoever's in charge. I left a message with them, and then we talked to an assistant. But I'm told that I didn't have to worry about that either. And when I was out there, oh my God, when I was out there, there was like this it's an indigenous land. There was a very reverent, I want to say chief that came forth out there, and it was very powerful, almost like giving us gratitude, honoring us. It was honoring us. And then I have this little thing here. I do CBD oil, and I had this little thing, and my knee was hurting, and I went ahead and stuck in some of that CBD oil, finished walking through it because we had to pick location. It's a big land, big property. And then I was shown literally a vision that while I was doing this, because that's CBD is part of the marijuana plant, and I was shown that marijuana back in the day was a weed, simply a weed, nothing more, nothing less. And it grew everywhere. And then I was shown that the animals ate the marijuana. And then as we ingested the animals, we got the benefits of all the marijuana plant because the animals ate it and digested it, and it was in their cellular system. And then the humans ate the animals; they got that from the animal. And then I was shown that other parts of that weed for the indigenous years ago, they would literally smash it up, and they would make it into almost. They showed me a black paste. So when there was a wound, they would use that black paste with that marijuana plant to heal it. I was really blown away by that. So a lot of information came out came through when we were out there trying to get education.
Calusa Mounds of Pine Island.
Yep, Calusa Mounds of Pine Island. Yeah, and I was told that these burial mounds that are there, that if they were to dig underneath them, it would go back, dig further down, they would find remains that were 5,000 years older than the remains that are on there. That they already found. There was another, there's another segment right below where they are at. So apparently the indigenous knew they were sacred grounds, and they put their burial grounds above a previous burial grounds. So it's very safe. When you walk it, it's sacred. It is sacred. You can feel it. Even somebody asleep, you feel it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a knowing.
Portal.
You're aware.
So are you going to film it? Are you going to go live with it? Are you going to go live on and?
I don't know. That's what we're debating, and I need to talk to the inner circle. If we go live, I don't want to go where everybody's going to be doing their own protocol, and I don't want that shown because that needs to be kept private. But I do think the sound thing going live might be it, and now I have to talk to Nathan. I don't think he'd have a problem. I would probably even recommend you do a show with this guy has so much information.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Any of these healers and him.
And sound, oh my God. The guy, he can tell you all the way back to, Aboriginal days, and he can tell you this sound was for that. And oh my God, I was blown away. I have no words. I don't know what he calls himself, but the knowledge that he has is incredible. So when after he got done doing what he did, he asked, what happened? What experiences did you have? And I told him that, the heart thing and the sound, and in the very near future, we will be healed with sound. And then he went on and he says, well, he says, when did that happen? And I go, it was probably the second or third thing that you played. And he said, that was whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but he goes, that was this. It was some kind of ancient thing, and it was the F flat note and F sharp. And he says, what you didn't know is that F sharp was shut down by the Catholic Church eons ago. It was outlawed, literally taken out of the music. It was taken out away from us. And we just got that back not long ago. So
we need to get this guy on.
This guy is this guy has so much information. I was just blown away. But that's what affected me when I was in his presence. And at that point, I told him that I was going to be doing something. This is before it went public. And I would like to have his presence out there when we did it. And it was going to be just a inner circle, very private. And then they told me to go to Facebook, and everything it exploded on Facebook. It just went crazy.
It's time to come out.
Crazy. Todd, because I worked with you for some time. I work very diligently, and I work from morning to night. And I got to tell you, that's exactly what this event has done. I mean, I am just working. When I say working, I mean looking at these texts and bringing these people in. And then when Facebook shut me down, it made it so complicated. And I don't know. I'm not. You're tech savvy. I have no. I'm energy savvy. I don't know anything about tech, but I don't know how to get a link and share the link, and I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And then one of the guys, healers that came in, go, well, here's a link for this. I'm like, how did you do that? Because it saved me so much trying to go and rewrite everything for people to understand what was going on, and just passing them the link. And the link would go through on Messenger. Now, this is crazy. I could talk to a friend on Messenger, and I could write them a text, and it would go through. But if it was a healer with me sending something about the modalities or whatever, it would not go through.
That's weird.
That's weird, isn't it?
But the universe has our backs.
Yep. Well, I think when they told me to go public, it's going through. Everything's going to happen. Nothing matters at this point. Everything's going to happen the way it needs to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, we got this shift. We got it. All right. Let's get out there and support this thing on the 16th. And somebody, it'd be cool if somebody could step up in South Florida and go out to Pine Island with you and film it, or film the parts that are appropriate to film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility. Of course, I can't say that without speaking to him, and I'm still waiting today for the approval.
Well, talk to him about being on the show, or any of these healers that want to come out. I think it's important we get more and more people out, coming out, because they do, just like they did with you when you saw these things happening. It activated something in you. I mean, we activate each other. So it's the right time. It's the right time. And this is a profound event. You're getting lots of happy birthdays. And thank you for doing what you're doing, and everyone that's involved. Somebody just put up that they're going to participate. You now have 4,322 healers and counting. Maybe you'll get up to 55 by the 16th. Perfect.
Well, we'll see. I'm wondering. I'm even curious of what the numbers are going to be in, because we're in a universal year of a 3.
Yeah.
And I'm on a life path of a 3, and and today is a 3-day, 1-2. It's a 3-day. Break it down to and I live at 1212. That's 33. I mean, I'm all threes. I'm all threes, and it's a universal 3, which means that change is going to come in. And I didn't expect to be here. So I have a lot of gratitude for being here now. It took me a little while to adjust to that, but I'm here, and hopefully that maybe this is why I'm here. I don't know. Maybe I am the clear, perfect conduit to bring everybody together. Lisa Brown said that. She said, Rosie, one of your biggest gifts is that you're a bridger. You're a bridger. Yeah. Well, I didn't bridge this together. This was done by something else much bigger than myself.
No, you still had to do it, though. You did it. And we thank you for doing it. You look great. I don't know what you're doing. I'm glad you stuck around for 2019. It's going to be a hell of a year.
Yeah.
And
you look great too. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
We're just going to keep chugging along here.
Everything.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. You take care. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is our last episode today. We'll be back tomorrow with 2, 3, I think 4 tomorrow. We're just going to keep on rolling with it. Thank you for the contributions from the earlier show. We got enough to go get an Ethernet cord, and we're gonna shore up our. But the funny thing is, we haven't had any problems today. Maybe because it's a 3-day. Just a couple of problems. But we're gonna have a good strong signal.
There was a quantum shift on the last one. There was a quantum alignment when the power went out, and I got that. And I'm like, Janet, power. She goes, "Are you going on?" I go, "No, the power went out." She got there's a quantum alignment too. Matter of fact, she got a little bit more information, but I didn't know what it meant.
It was I talked to some people here. It's just something that doesn't happen. There was actually 2 trees that went down. That was the physical rational explanation, but it was all day long. And I've been around here, and it's gone out for 2-3 hours, different places on the island. but this was an all day thing, and the wind was incredible, and the magic, everything was incredible. It was just an amazing thing, and we went with it. We knew that we were supposed to be off the air. You know, as much as we needed to be on it, we weren't going to argue with it. So it's incredible times. So it's incredible what's happening. So we're just happy to be part of it.
We're living on the leading edge of change.
Yeah.
And it's time. And we're going to be the product of that. We are the first wave. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Everybody else.
I love you. Best to you and your family. I'll talk to you soon. Collaborate again. You take care.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Talk to you later.